Mitch, congratulations on your career. What are your thoughts as you came off the field for the very last time?
I was really enjoying it. Just soaking it all up. Your last time out there, and I was just trying to really enjoy myself out there today. When the boys picked me up, that was probably a bit more emotional. I didn't really want them to do it, but they've been great throughout my whole career. My teammates have always been so supportive, and I've really enjoyed playing cricket with a lot of those guys. Some of the guys that are quite young and new, but some guys I've played a fair bit of cricket with now, and there's a little tear in the eye when they picked me up. But look, I was really happy with I'm really happy with my decision, and I just lost that hunger, I guess, in the end to play out on those tough days. I think that's where my decision came, and that was something I really used to enjoy about Test cricket, was those challenges of those really difficult days out there, and I just wasn't enjoying it.
You've thought about, or you've talked about retiring a few times over the journey. At what point did you come to this decision that this was it, and did you have any doubts about it before you made up your mind?
The first innings bowling was my final decision. Spoke to Jess, my wife, about it, and my manager Sam, and then spoke to Smithy and Buff, and spoke to the boys and let them know last night that I was finishing up in all forms. So look, it's something that I've been thinking about for about a year, to be honest, on and off, and I guess after the World Cup, I sort of thought that was a good time to go out in one-day cricket. But with new guys in the team, I sort of thought also that I could help being a senior player and give some good advice. But look, if I can't, I just felt like I couldn't compete at this level anymore, and like I said, I just lost that hunger.
Is that physical or mental? There bowling in that first innings, you're down on pace and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was more mental, to be honest. Like physically, like I've always said, you have your little niggles here and there, and you find ways to get through. And I get a little bit physical, like the body is pretty sore, but I think it was more just the mental side of things. I just had enough, and like I said, I just felt like I couldn't be the best that I could for this team, and I didn't want to continue on playing at the standard that wasn't good enough.
And had that stretch through, from Philip's death right through World Cup to Ashes, that taken it out of you? That sort of.
Look, there was definitely a part of me that struggled after Philip's death, and it probably affected me for a long time, and probably still does. But look, I think the final decision, like I said, was more just the hunger and those tough days. I just didn't want to be there, and that's not very fair and on the team, and it's not how I play cricket. I always play at 100%. So I'm really happy and proud that I was able to go out there and finish off really well. I really enjoyed myself today, batting and bowling. I guess you have that weight lifted off your shoulders, and you just go out there and have fun. So I was able to do that and cherish the moment.
You're talking about the tough days. There have been a few of those the last couple of summers on the pitches that have been played in Tests in Australia and overseas, but particularly in Australia. And they seem to be very different from what you had in the Ashes series in 2013-14. Your thoughts on that, I suppose, and what that contributed to it, and also, I suppose, Test pitches going forward?
Yeah, the wickets definitely get harder and harder. It's flatter, but look, it might have played a little part, I guess. Day in and day out, you're running in. Some days you feel like a bowling machine, but that was, like I said, I really did enjoy the challenge, even though sometimes it felt like an unfair advantage to batters. But I never complained about it. I always went out there and always gave it 100%. So I'm not blaming wickets or anything like the conditions on my retirement. It was, like I said, more the hunger.
Has the rise of the next generation of pacemen, in particular Mitchell Starc, made it easier to make the decision? And can you just give us your thoughts on the country's pace depth on the whole?
Yeah, I think I said something before the Ashes series in England that I was really excited to see Mitchell perform there, and we probably were all quite a little bit off at that stage, but how I've seen him play throughout these 2 tests, I'm really confident that he's found his game and he's only going to get better. So that really excites me. That'll be something that I'll look forward to, sitting back on the couch watching him bowl as a fellow left armour. But yeah, look, the depth that we have is phenomenal, and I guess when I came back from my toe injury, we still had that. We had a lot of depth at that stage, and guys like Jimmy Pattinson and Hoff was mentioned around that time as well, and there's a lot of really good talent. Pat Cummins as well. So look, I'm really happy with where we are with the pace guys that we have around in Australia. And look, the Australian cricket team we're always fierce and we fight hard. There might be times where we're probably not at our best, but generally we always give it our best. And look, I'm really looking forward to watching some of these guys perform.
Mitch, the Ashes summer of 2 years ago, like the way that you came back from a low point in your career to have that incredible summer, is that what you're most proud of?
Yeah, I think so. And I'll have more time to reflect, obviously, now, but that was definitely a huge moment in my career, and it was something that I guess I would have had regrets if I didn't come back from there. I think I spoke to my wife about it, and it was something that I really wanted to work hard on, getting back into the team, and I really enjoyed that challenge. And it really made me excited about playing cricket, getting back from that injury, and working really hard, and I guess testing myself. I felt like I hadn't given my best at that stage in my career, and I felt like I had a lot to give. So those past couple of years were really exciting for me, and I think I just became more confident in my ability, and I was really happy with my action. I think that was a big thing. You just learn to become more comfortable within yourself, and I wasn't content, but I was just more, I just knew what I needed to do and what it took to be your best. So yeah, it was an exciting time throughout my career, and something I'll always cherish, and I always have those memories.
Did you speak to Dennis over the last 24 hours, Mitch?
I spoke to him the 6 weeks I had home before this series, and he said I at least had another 3 or 4 more years left in me. Not bowling at 150, but sort of doing similar to what he did, just bowling at that lower pace, but doing something a bit more with the ball. But in the back of my mind, I was sort of thinking that I only want to bowl fast. That's how I've bowled in my whole career. That was something I remember Brett Lee talking about before his retirement. He said basically he just wanted to bowl fast, and if he ever got to the point where he couldn't bowl fast, then he was done as well. So I sort of feel like I was on that sort of wavelength as well. But yeah, we had a pretty good discussion about it, and I sent him a message this morning. And look, he's been a huge part of my career, as a lot of other people have been. Like my family, my manager Sam, and my teammates. Yeah, so many people, our support staff, and it hasn't been just one person, but yeah, it's been so many people.
Mitch, there have been obviously some devastating spells. Is there one in particular, or a couple in particular, where you felt like this was your best and you were bowling at your absolute best? And what was it about it? What do you remember about it?
I really enjoyed Adelaide Oval in the Ashes series, to be able to, I guess, back up a performance from Brisbane, and then to bowl on a flat wicket there and do really well. And I guess that was a pretty awesome feeling, to be honest. What was the rest of that question? Sorry.
What do you remember about it?
It was one of my best mates' birthdays, which was good. So that was great to have him there, Dylan. But look, I think it's just the mateship, working as a team. That was what I guess from that Ashes series I really enjoyed. It wasn't necessarily the wickets that I took; it was just how we bowled as a team and as a group, and how we really enjoyed the moments. It wasn't just about me and getting those wickets. It was a lot more.
Last couple Mitch,
Jeez, it gets hot in here.
Mitch, to finish fourth on the Australian all-time wicket takers list, what does that mean to you, and what's your reflections on that?
Yeah, it's something you never think or dream of ever happening when you first start your career, and especially when you get dropped a couple of times. And yeah, look, I'll reflect on all that, I think, in the next little bit. But look, it's pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing achievement, and something I'm definitely proud of. You know, to be just past Brett Lee, who was an idol of mine, and you know, a mentor in Dennis Lilly was, you know, a few away, but you know, yeah, it's a pretty amazing feeling, and I guess also having Craig McDermott in the room and being so supportive of those achievements as well. When I passed him, and he was so supportive and was always pumping me up and trying to get me to get more wickets and do really well. So yeah, it's one of those achievements I'll always have, and I'm sure Starkey will probably overtake that at some stage, and even Nath actually. But look, I'll cherish the moment.
Mitch, not a lot of fast bowlers in particular get to play a test match knowing it's, or even a part of a test match knowing it's their last one. When you think about Ryan going out injured, Brett going out injured, that little spell at the end, those 6 overs, how much did you enjoy that, and just to feel the crowd's energy and take those wickets that last time?
Yeah, it was a nice feeling. It definitely put a smile on my face, and I still know that I've made the right decision, even when I was out there and playing like that. I still knew, but I really enjoyed it. It was so good, and to play in front of, I guess I started my career in Brisbane when I was living there, and that was my first home test, and then to finish here in a home test. It's a pretty amazing feeling when the crowd's right behind you, and I don't think I'll ever forget it. That the sound that you have in your ears, and there was a little bit of emotion out there today, running in a few times, but look, I was pretty focused on the job. I was hoping that we'd get a few more wickets and really put them under pressure, but yeah, look, it was nice to be able to finish with the ball that I finished with as well. It's sort of been a bit of a trademark of my career, and you know, that shorter ball and getting caught in close there. So I really wanted to finish like that, and you know, it's good when you can.
Mate, aware that the boss can't call you tomorrow morning, do you want to say something on behalf of fast bowlers of the way that the pitches are and the balls are in this series? Is that an issue, do you reckon?
I don't really I don't really want to talk about that, to be honest. It's like I said, in the end for me, it was all about not having that hunger. So look, everything else is irrelevant, to be honest. So I just want to enjoy this moment, sit back, watch the boys play, send a few cheeky text messages, and really just enjoy watching these young guys play some really good cricket in the future.
I'll call you and contact him.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. I'll probably just want to say a couple more things, but just keep it really simple, because I'm not the homework type. I didn't write a speech or anything like that. It's look, it's been a great privilege and honour to be able to represent Australia. To be the last out of the 300 club is pretty special as well. And you know, I know a lot of those guys that recently retired wanted me to continue on, and we were a bit shocked that I'd announced my retirement. So I guess I want to thank my teammates and the support staff for everything they've done. You know, the game of cricket is such an amazing sport, and I'll definitely miss it. But yeah, those guys really made it for me, and that's why I played the game, was to, you know, a team sport. You know, it's such a great feeling to be around the guys, whether it's in the dressing room or, you know, in the physio room, and just hang crap on each other. Those are the things you definitely miss, I think. But my manager, Sam, yeah, I just wanted to thank him for what he's done for me throughout my career. And like I said to him last night, that doesn't end. Our friendship doesn't end now. It's a new chapter for me and him in our careers moving on. So that's really exciting. I'm not going to look at Jess. So I want to thank my family, Jess, all my family and friends, really just for being so supportive over the years and getting to the games when they can. And I've got my dad and my brother here and a lot of friends who have loved coming to the games, and I've really loved coming down, listening to them scream out nicknames, and it makes me laugh. But it's thank you for everything you guys have done as well, and it's been a great journey, and now continue on to hopefully something else and something really exciting. Thank you.